Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 424th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, March 17th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be a host today. And as usual, in these weekly Knowledge Seekers workshops, we're joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe of the Keshe Foundation, and he will present today's teaching. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Hello, yes, good morning, good day to you, as usual, whenever you listen to this series of Knowledge Seekers of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. We welcome you back to this series of teaching, and we hope we extend our knowledge and understanding with how and the things will come to be. And what and how we will send our knowledge to each other without going into understanding of what the man has made. And how we change our ways of communication. We used to shout, we used to howl across, we used the drums to communicate. We became advanced and found a way to communicate. 1944, we call it the calls, telephone lines. We advanced further, and now we have made all these fancy systems. We have mobile phone, wireless communication. But has there been any wireless communication? Has there been cables? Has there been drums for our souls to communicate with each other? How do we feel each other? Emotion of each other? Have we had systems that we not knowingly, deliberately made for our souls and our emotion to communicate with each other? This is where the new technology comes in. This is where the understanding of the technology of the creation comes in. Now we have to understand what mobile phone, what wireless system the Creator created for the soul of the man to be in touch with another soul, for you to dream and visualize it. We look at our mobile phones and we think, oh, we're so advanced. Now I can fold it and the screen doesn't bend and cracks. And I've made it so small I can put it under my skin. But it still has a system failure in it. Still, we have not managed to do it the way the Creator has done. If I concentrate and understand the work of my work, I can tell you I love you, and you feel it. You feel the emotion of the love that I've been loved. Our present communication does not include emotion. It's cold. It's as cold as ice. What you put in it, you get out of it. Doesn't carry any sense of understanding of emotion. But how come the communication of the Creator carries that? How much more do we need to understand? How much more do we need to learn to just become the speck of dust of the knowledge of the creation, to understand it? When a mankind can make systems that carries emotion, he might have just managed to scratch the surface of the knowledge of the creation, as the creation is dependent on the emotion. Emotion of the soul, emotion of the understanding is very much the way you feel it when you dream your mother and you hug her and you kiss her and she kisses you back. You feel the emotion of the skin, you feel the emotion of the breath of the mother. You feel the emotion of the love, which has no physicality, but is all in the dream, in a dimension of the interaction of the soul of the man. So the mankind needs to develop its own intellect to understand the method of the creation and communication in the world of the creator. We have a long way to go. At the moment today, we are developing technologies that we still use matter state conditions to transfer the emotion. To transfer the emotion between the soul of the physicality and the soul of the man. Those of you who have been in the new systems know how it touches you, how you feel the emotion in the brain of the man, and then it converts itself to the soul of physicality and the heart of the man. How you settle your emotions with the things which in the past you could not solve when the parents or the friend or the brother was alive, but now you can do. In a way, I could not speak to you when you were alive. I could not settle the misunderstanding. I could not explain to you when you were alive and you were with me, or you're still alive in another part of the world or universe, that we take away the conflict. We bring the essence of the love and creation between us. But now with this new technology, you can do. Those of you who have been through it know it's so real. Even it's like a daylight. You see it, you feel it, you understand that the emotion of the presence in the dimension of the soul through the work of the systems is so profound that it changes your life. It brings you comfort, it brings you peace, it brings you understanding, it brings you to the point to understand there is more to life than the mobile phones and the pictures which comes with no emotion. Now, the new enhancement unit, the brain units which we are developing, carries that emotion, carries that love, that carries that understanding, not only with your uncle, your mother, your brother, but with the whole of the universe, with the whole of understanding the process. In a coming time, when you fly from one planet to another, you're not aware of the storm. You're going from one city to another. You're not aware of what is there happening dangerous. The soul of the people of that area, the soul of the people of the earth tells you not to come. Be careful. Or we need your help. Rescue us. There is no SOS message in the soul of the man. We don't have islands and the woods and rhythms to make it SOS. But the soul of the man, the soul of the captain, the soul of the flyer of the system is become aware of it through the knowledge of the universe. This is what the new technology will bring. This is what the new step in delivering the technology will bring to humanity. As you remember, last week and the weeks before, we tried to build this up step by step, that you understand it. It's not to you that you're the listener of the teaching today. These recordings will be listened to for thousands of years, for the new generation, for the new knowledge seekers. And then they develop to understand, and the progressive development of the creation of peace and understanding not will be only on the level of the physical, what we call the planetary system, but will be amongst the men and other creatures, amongst the men and troubles of the universe, when the man himself become a traveler. In a message to NASA headquarters in the past few days, as now we're intensifying the delivery of the systems, was very simple. We give you a system as a gift for you to develop the technologies that with us we become peaceful. As I explained to the head of NASA Mission to Mars in the past few days, the reason we held the delivery of the systems to Arizona, as I explained to John many times, and John understood fully, and we both agreed on it, was not to put the technology of the space advance from Iran in the hand of the Americans to kill more Iranians and create more sanctions with our own technology. Now that the peace has been achieved, now that we have agreed to sign a peace treaty in Vienna in the next few hours and days, we share the knowledge. We have gifted the unit to NASA headquarters, Marshall Space Center. And we have told them, you want it, you want our help, you can do. But we leave it to you to develop it. We leave it to you to understand the new era. As I said to the Marshall Center, they just announced the delivery of a new flight system, more rockets. I said, is this still a joke going on? They say, we have no other technology. What do you want us to do? In this process, by sharing even the knowledge that if you want to fly from Tehran to New York, you just need to be thinking of it. And if you do not manage to reach this level of understanding of the motion of the soul of the man in an enhancement unit, you do. The whole process of the communication is to understand the way even some of our own creatures on this planet work and fly. We see millions of birds, as I said before. We see millions of the fishes together. They never touch each other. They never come to even in contact with each other because they work through the dimension of the what we call magnetic fields, the interaction of it. You bring a minimum setting in your flight system, it means that it does not matter what level field it is, even the emotion, the physical body of the man, a lamppost, a stone, a dog. That minimum strength magnetic fields would not allow the two to touch. Keeps that distance, the way the fishes do in the ocean and the birds fly millions across continents. We don't see birds falling off the air when you see hundreds of thousands of them are flying together. You want to see this beauty, go to Ghana, go to Accra, and then watch every morning and every afternoon hundreds of thousands of bats take into flight and come back. The sky goes black by them, but you never see a single bat to fall off by accident hitting another. When you set the minimum, when you set the condition that no soul in the strength of the gravitational field of the earth will come to touch another, accidents become impossibilities. You communicate to the strength of the soul of the system with the soul of the man. We even have to understand the strength of the soul of the stone, that they don't hit the stone of the lamppost. If you remember, in the teachings before, I said, it becomes impossible to have accidents with the new system. Now you understand why. Now you understand how. We set a minimum interaction field within our flight system. Hitting a meteorite is impossibilities because we can set the system according to the universal minimum standard. Meteorites are this part of our game. What about meteorites outside the solar system, which are much bigger and more effective? What about the meteorites in the universe, which is the scattering of the solar systems and galaxies debris, which one piece can be even bigger than the Earth itself? This is the beauty with the new knowledge. This is the beauty when we set the minimum flight system. Do we set it for the minimum flight gap for the Earth? for the galaxy, for the universe, and for unicorns. This is the knowledge that the man has to gain. This is the knowledge that in the new enhancement center systems we are developing, I have hiddenly built into. Look at what you were taught months ago. You should have understood. You should have grasped the whole idea of why we gave you the 5-stacker unit. Hidden in that structure is the minimum limitation of the interaction of the soul of the man on top and the gravitational field of the earth at the bottom, which carries the inertia in the second level, which means man has been given a full flight system in a 5-stacker unit. Now you understand. Now you comprehend how we have covered all the bases with you, that when it comes to it, you say yes. How come we missed it? Because you didn't have the knowledge. You didn't know what it means. When you have the bottom stacker of 5 unit, it means you cannot touch the soul of no matter state, which is the gravitational field of the earth. On the top, you carry the soul of the man. It means you cannot touch no soul. You cannot come physically in touch with it. Killing is not by taking a life, is by preventing the thing to happen. And this is the beauty of the teaching which I've given you. I have hidden the knowledge of the creation within a simple instrument, within a simple unit. Those of you who destroyed your 5-unit stacker with the what I call clandestine activities of enemies of the man and the foundation, now you understand what you missed. The devil lives in different clothes. If you understand the system, why we gave you the enhancement unit in 5 levels, is to understand that even the soul of the physicality of the man cannot touch another. It's impossibilities if you understand the knowledge behind it. You have to integrate all this knowledge in your flight system. Do you need communication system? Do you need to understand where the gravity of the earth ends or begins? Because even you're on the other end of the universe, you can go with a speed as million times the speed of light past the earth, but never touch it, because you set that minimum to all planetary systems. Now you understand. The communication is not just by words and emotion, but is by respect to travel, by respect to understanding the position, time, and space. Today's teaching is fundamental for those who take with us into the space technology of coming up, what is to come. As I said to the heads of the Keshe Foundation team who are responsible for different aspects of it, we start the flight system from now. Keshe Foundation in the next few days will fly the units across the US, to NASA, to Arizona, to Tehran, to Vienna. We'll ship the control systems in a different way to Arizona from Austria. We are back in the track as we achieved what we said, the peace process. As was said in the past few hours, the world leader's peace has taken and claimed his position to create a world peace. His Excellency President Biden has taken that position, which means the wishes of the Universal Council has been fulfilled. Now we have a leader who takes peace serious and is committed to it, to the wishes of your wish to guide the world leaders into peace. And as I wrote to the American ambassador in Vienna in the past few hours, in response to the signing of the peace treaty with Iran and the end of sanctions, that America cannot use and committed itself to peace, the technology of the Keshe Foundation to harm another, we have gifted a unit to NASA, which means Arizona and NASA, hand in hand, will fly together. As I was speaking to John last night, if they want to work together, they have to bring the 2 units together in Arizona, or in NASA that we have the twin system to fly. In a way, the Keshe Foundation knowledge and the governmental knowledge of the American government become hand in hand as one unit. The way it will be with Iran, the way it will be with Austria, and the same with China in coming time. We need Chinese leadership to commit itself to peace, and they will receive the technology and the know-how, not as a competition to be a superpower to impose. We've seen the situation in Ukraine, and you understand why we have never included Russia at this moment of time as part of the Keshe Foundation delivery system, as we were aware of what is to come, and the situation in Ukraine was very clear to us some 6-7 years ago. When Russia commits itself to peace, will receive the technology to think. As I said to the heads of the Keshe Foundation in the past couple of days, we have between 3 to 5 units a week to allocate. The next week or two, we open the channels that you vote as the knowledge seekers who have supported to which nations you would like to see to receive the units in the following weeks. But there is one thing, we won't allow all the Brazilians to vote for Brazil. We won't allow all the Italians to vote for the Italian unit. You have to vote for another language and nation outside your own. The question here will be simple. You will see the delivery of the enhancement unit freely by Keshe Foundation to all the nations I'll be promised in the coming weeks. Now that we have found the leader who leads us for peace, and soon we will see the same thing coming from Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran, we will see the end of the politics and the religions in fighting each other, but working unity to bring the condition that what we asked for years. The unification of the politics and religion in setting up the new standards for humanity for peace. So we will try to do it this week, but it will be next week, hopefully, that you can vote as knowledge seekers who have supported us to which nation you would like to see their scientists to receive the next unit. The only thing we have to do is to fill in the destination for delivery. I kept my word and promise. I may fulfill the promise. If you remember last Thursday in the teachings, I told you that I'll be meeting with the Iranian officials in a few hours. And you saw the reaction of our meeting within a couple of hours after the meeting, when the Iranian head of negotiation suddenly, and with no notice, left the negotiations back to Tehran. The evidence we provided to Iranian officials was so profound that they saw no reason for carrying on the negotiation till certain points were settled. And we saw with our communication with the American Embassy and the White House since Monday, explaining the situation while we're standing out, has been resolved. We got what we wanted, and the peace is on the track. The signing of the peace will be a matter of hours, or maximum a few days. We try to do it before the Iranian New Year. It's the wish of the nation. But it's communication between the souls which sets these things up, not by accident. What you see in the clay, we see in the dust before the clay is made. What you see as a flower pot, we see it when it's the dust on the ground, that what flower pot it will make and what beautiful thing it will be. This is the essence of the knowledge of understanding the communication of the souls. As you ask, can you come to London to see me from Washington? I have to buy a ticket. I need time to arrange. So it's the same with the soul. When we tell you the things to happen, we need to organize everything else as the soul now have agreed. Sometimes we push it. We get it done faster. Sometimes we wait thousands of years to get everything sorted. And now today we achieve both. And the agreement of the souls of thousands of years has come to an end, as the agreement of the few hours of your days has come to completion. So it's important for the knowledge seekers who enter the development of the next cycle of communication to understand for the first time even your communication system has a soul. Understand the work of it, understand the line of communication of it, and then you will find you make one of the best communication systems, even for translation of the languages and translation of the emotion of the creatures of the universe across the universe. In the new enhancement systems, in what we call the vision, we have built this. It has a soul. The system is based on the creation and communication of the soul. We have hidden the knowledge in such a beautiful way that man will take hundreds of years to unravel. These units in the next few days will be flown to Arizona, as we made Arizona the center of the excellence for a space travel for Keshe Foundation in what we call Northern America continent. Tehran will follow the same. Arizona lets the scene, as we have not managed to complete a full negotiation with the Iranian government. There is a problem which has to be solved in the offices of Ayatollah Khamenei's office, his leadership, Iranian government, and Keshe Foundation. The problem they have, and I've explained to the American authorities and the others, is the man who is leading Iran to the advanced technology is half Jewish. And they cannot swallow the fact. And they cannot sell to the nation that we have a Jewish blood is devoted to Iran. This is why we never received open support of the Iranian government. As how can they blame nations who, in matter of the office of the government, kills, and another Jewish blood helps so deeply? We are committed to peace. Nation, color, race, and religion is irrelevant in how we manifest ourselves. Now you understand how correctly we have conducted the work of the Keshe Foundation. And you, as knowledge seekers, carry the emotion through your souls, your teachings, and your understanding of the knowledge in totality. The process of the communication through the understanding of the soul of the man is the biggest step for man to be able to travel the span of the universe. Developing interim systems for him to understand step by step is what we have done with what we call the enhancement units. In coming time, the next generations of the man will not need the system as he has learned how to do it. It's literally, as I said once, is like a man who knows to walk but is on crutches, is wounded. And he needs to learn how to stand up and how to walk, and then with it, he knows how to jump, to dance, and what I call do a marathon of the knowledge of the universe. Understanding of creation of the systems which carries emotion which carries the essence of understanding of the emotion of the man in the dimension of physicality and the emotion of the man in the dimension of the soul, is the prelude to total understanding of the work of the Creator, where you can translate the emotion of the soul to the emotion of physicality, irrespective of the place of position and time. Where the time starts from when you manifest yourself. So the time is at 0 point, at any point when man manifests himself and has not been manifested. But he still exists in other realms and the strength of the fields of the universe. The birth of a child is not the point when it manifests itself from the womb of the mother. The birth of a child is the fields of the origin where it emanates from the soul of the Creator. That's the knowledge which man has to understand. And then in that position of the birth of a child, gets what we call the soul of physicality to live in a dimension of the womb of the mother or the atmosphere of this. Then one of the biggest problems for human race will be, how do we give birth in the dimension of the universe? We have no delivery rooms and we have no what we call physical dimension. What will happen to the souls which will take the shape of physicality? Do they need to merge from the womb of the mother the way it does on earth? Or we communicate with the soul of the child within the womb of the mother, within the structure of the physicality of the life of the soul, that you are getting manifested in this place, even though you carry the soul from the amino acid of the earth. You decide how you want to manifest yourself. You're still the child of mine. I still love you as a soul. It's the same when we give birth to a child. If it's handicapped, if it's blue eyes, if it's red hair, it does not make any difference. We love it because we created it. Blind or without arms, still loved by the Creator, which is the mother and the father. We are blind to the rest of disabilities, even we are knowledgeable of disabilities. And this is how the man is going to be in the depth of the space when we give life through the soul of the man. And our children will look as they need to be in the environment of the time and place and the space they are born. We are used to 2 arms and 2 legs. Our child will have 20 arms and 20 legs and no physicality in the dimension we want to see. We have to accept the new understanding and through it develop our senses through the emotion of the soul of the child, irrespective of its physical manifestation, the way the parents do on this planet when you have a child who has all sorts of disabilities. The love of the father and the mother is not limited to the physicality restriction or the beauty of the child. It's to the soul of the child. And this is what the man has to learn. Because the child will feel the disappointment in the parent's soul. I don't look like the one from earth, so they don't love me. Where it has to be you're loved irrespective of. This is what the challenges the man will face in the coming time in opening the space to man. When the man comes out of the monkey suit of the nest. We shall not die in space because we don't wear a suit. We'll survive every condition of the universe because we travel with the suit of the soul of the Creator within the structure of the dimension of the soul of the man. Man has to understand that the new ways of communication, the new ways of interaction is not just by the phone. You communicate with the guy on the street. You walk first, I walk behind you. You cross first, I go after you. Please, you go through the door and I go after you. There's no word language. The space is the minimum energy gap of the fields will dictate that. The one who is the weakest will get the preference that he gets at the time of passing elevation of the soul from the one which is the stronger. Mankind has got to come to understand the point of the existence, the emotion of the planet, the emotion of the galaxy, the emotion of the soul of the man, the emotion of the universe. Some of us, now that we understand the next steps of development, will not be able to tolerate through the elevation of our souls the condition of this universe. We call it, we become allergic to it because we can give more, we want to give more. And for it, there are other universes which work in a higher level that our soul fit into. We become the passengers of the new universes through the elevation of the soul. Now you understand why some of the souls which are created on this planet do not exist in this universe. They are already the passengers of other universes in the universe because they elevated through serving humanity and the others to reach to the point of high elevation of the field of strength that they have taken position in that position in time and space. Go back to some of the teachings of the past and you understand. Then you will understand the elevation of the soul of the man. Why we are here to serve and not to be served. We are here to serve other souls to elevate. And with it, in the elevation of that soul, to become better, to serve more, to become the sons, the sources of life, of the completion in other dimensions, and not necessarily on this planet, in this galaxy, and in this universe. Don't forget the spiral of the magnetic fields. The higher you elevate, the stronger fields you carry, the closer you become to the source. You don't need no prophets, and you don't need no churches and temples, where your church and the temple and your prophet becomes the creator and no one else. As you understand the knowledge of the creation, as you understand the line of communication of the existence, you elevate to receive the knowledge of the creation from the creator on the direct line of the knowledge of the universe. Why do you need mullahs, ayatollahs, priests, and the popes and the rabbis to put the touch of their own mind of what are called tainted life into it? The whole process of these teachings today is to open your eyes for a future teaching of understanding the line of the communication, the method of the communication, understanding that we communicate in the dimension of the soul of physicality, in the voice, touch, smell, and in the dimension of the soul of the man. We do the same, but different smells and different touches in a way confirmation of existence. Emotion of love, emotion of being there to give unconditionally is the level of the maturity of the soul of the man to understand his own creation. We are not a sect. We are not a religious organization. We are an organization, a structure that understands the reality about the forces of the creation and how mankind can work, endeavor to reach a better point of understanding of the process of his own creation. We so look at the sun for millions of years. We saw the warmth of it. Then some of us decided to make everything from solar system and everything else from its rays. We learn how to convert. Now we have to understand how to convert the knowledge of the creator, even with the systems, and then man on his own, to benefit of the elevation of the soul of the man. and not to hit the water or boil a kettle. The understanding, the process of the teaching has been step by step, that you had time to play to mature. When we have a baby on the playground, never seen anything, we give her a little toy, we give her something to touch that it can understand, this is my finger and this is my toes. And then when she understands more, we give her another piece, and then we give her something else to elevate, to learn more about the vision and the colors, what color is what, and then the sounds. And in all my teachings, I've done nothing but this. Human race is the infancy of the knowledge. So we gave you the magraphs, we gave you the stacker unit, we gave you the other bits that you don't need to see the colors, but you become aware of the fields, the emotion of the fields. Go back on the teachings of past few years, I kept on telling you, you're looking for physicality, but you have to look for the fields. This is the reason. Now you understand why. You cannot fly with a magraph, but you can fly on the fields of magraph. You cannot get energy from the universe from a magraph, but you can use the fields of magraph to tap in universal energy. I gave you the most powerful generator, and you're still after the crumbs. The purpose of the teaching of today is to open another channel in the line of the communication, which up to now we have not covered much in the teachings in past 10 years. Now that the knowledge seekers, the governments and the scientists are ready to take that step towards peace, to be able to communicate, to be respectful of each other's existence, not only on this planet and beyond, we open the knowledge of the communication in the world of what we call universe. In the dimension of the plasma fields, in the dimension of the creation and the creator. Maybe one day you will understand, and some of you will elevate to the full understanding of the teachings, how we built up for you to feel the fields. We give you the cup of life to understand it goes in my body and it does something I cannot do. And it's there. Nothing was better for us than the corona for humanity to learn about the creation, work, interaction of the fields within the body of the man. Many people said, oh, but corona killed many. Please go on the what we call the statistics of the world and look how the statistic has changed from influenza to corona. So you haven't died by many more. You have just learned about the effects of the field. As I said in a recent talk, if you look at the statistics of the corona and influenza, one has replaced the other. And even less have died of influenza and corona put together. We need to understand this process. We need to understand when the man does not take the step, we take steps to teach and to learn. In so many ways, we have no choice. Man has been too lazy, too self-centered to learn about the works of creation. So we do the job for you in different shapes or forms, as a cup of life, as a magraph system, as ganses, as a flight system, that gradually man will learn. Is that toy to teach you about the first noise? Is that toy to teach you about the colors? Now you see the color of the beauty of the Creator. Today's teaching is another, what I call, watershed in the teachings of the Keshe Foundation. For man to become aware of the communication of the souls. I touched on it in a very simple ways in past few weeks, but today you receive part of that understanding. How do we make these systems? of the emotion. How do we understand? How do we connect which emotion with what? As I told you before, years ago, when you stand in front of another creature from another dimension, universe, you say, does he want to eat me? Or do I want to eat him? The other one never has intention to eat because he knows he takes whatever you don't need. But the intention of the man has been, I put it in my mouth and I taste it. If it kills me, the others learn. If it doesn't kill me, we eat it as a new source of food. And this is where it comes to an end, when the soul of the person, entity in front of you gives you what you need. It saturates your soul with the shortage of what you're short. You won't touch it. Now you understand how the system works. Now you understand the orange and the cup, where the cup is the man and the orange, the one in front of you. If you need it, you receive the fields of it. And if he needs you, he becomes the cup and you become the orange to him. Would you eat what you feed your child? It's the same. How many of you have a dilemma in when you grow an animal in the house, you never kill it? When you look after it, you don't eat it. Have you eaten your dog? Have you eaten your cat? Have you eaten your goldfish in the box? But the others eat the cat and the dog and the goldfish. I remember when I was invited by the South Korean government to Seoul in 2008, I was taken to the highest one of the main streets of Seoul by the team, which we were there with officials. As we passed a shop front, the translator told me, please don't look. I said, why? And we went to the next door shop. It was a beautiful restaurant. After dinner, I asked him, explain to me why you didn't want me to see the shop. He said, that's a restaurant. I said, so? He said, that's where we eat dogs. It's the specialty of the restaurant. And I didn't want to insult you because we were going for a dinner on the next door. That time it didn't click on me. But later on, I explained to him when I had a broken ankle lying in bed in Seoul, coming out of the hospital, I had nothing to do but to think. The image of going to that restaurant came back to me. I called the translator. He was a lawyer, German speaking, was brought from Germany, flown with me to Seoul by the order of the president, that he could translate, he could understand the Western mentality. I said to him a simple thing. I said, these two restaurants is the same in the back kitchen, isn't it? He said, maybe. I said, have you made me to eat what I don't believe can be touched, even with the knives and the forks which touch in the other restaurant and shared with this restaurant? He said, I'm sorry, Mr. Kesh. We should have thought deeper than this to take you to that restaurant. But it's one of the best in Seoul. If you understand, you don't need to communicate. If you communicate in the level of the soul of the man, you become aware of the totality, what is going on and what is need to be and how it needs to be. We have to understand, with the new understanding of the knowledge of the soul, the physicality of the man, no object, no entity in the universe is food for man. It could be source of us becoming the energy feeder to it, or we receive energy from it if he wants to, if he has spare to dispose of the strength of the body of the man and the soul of the man to absorb it. Where we receive the energy through the soul of the man, and by, in a way of conversion of emotion, we deliver to the physicality. The progressive development of the science of the creation is obligation for man to understand. Does not matter the place, the time, the position. Now you see the feeling does not become a matter of importance. We shelter ourselves with the fields of our soul that the physicality doesn't feel the cold. The food comes from the surplus fields of the universe, not from life of another being. This is what these teachings are about. To understand now the creation, the communication line of the soul, and interaction in the field strength of the soul, as the soul itself has a field strength and is part of the world of the creator, and in not exclusivity of the man and the life of the man. Try through the systems which have developed for you, and I even gave you more extensive versions of it to be built. Why is that? That you cover the minimum and the maximum and understand the composition of fields that you need to make as a sample that you can test with your soul. To what level you have become matured. That which part of the universe you can become what we call the traveler of. When I made you the cup with so many different elements and different shapes, spiral and flat and whatever, was to bring you that minimum connection, understanding of the extent of the soul. Then you stand in front of what you created and see if you feel the emotion. It's another creature which you have created it. It's not in the womb of the mother. It's your invention, it's your creation. And then you understand how I explain to you that I'll make a fish in the tank or a man in front of you. I make the soul of the fish. And that soul takes the shape of the fish in the tank instantaneously. Now you understand the line of communication. Now you understand the knowledge of the soul. Maybe we become wise to understand the totality and appreciate the beauty of the creation. I hope I brought you a new dimension to think, and I hope I brought you a new understanding to understand. And I hope soon all of us will come to the point to understand more about our own creation and the Creator. We go through a break and we come back and try to see if any of us have become knowledgeable to that point of understanding. Rick, would you like to go ahead for the break and then we come back?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. So we'll have a few minutes here for some commercial break and be back shortly. This is the 424th Knowledge Seekers Workshop on Thursday, March 17th, 2022.
Can I come in for a second? I think Casimir has some points and some what I call products to promote from the Keshe Foundation sales point of view. If you want to promote him.
Oh, that'd be great. Okay.
Thank you very much. I forgot about that to inform you beforehand. You have a lot of bunnies coming up as the Easter is about to come.
Bunny bundles, yes.
Bunny bundles, yeah. By the way, we won't have time. We'll be coming after. This Sunday, 21st of March, around about 16:33, 16 hours, 33 minutes in the afternoon, is the celebration of the 8th New Year in Iran. And we welcome and wish all the best for the Iranian nation and those who believe in the path of Zoroaster and Mitra. I hope you have a beautiful Eid and the new beginning. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Krasmir, I'm able to promote half of you into the panelists. The other one doesn't seem to promote, but I've allowed talking. Does that work for you?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you, Rick.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Once again, here from the Keshe Foundation sales team. Again, we want to share with you the Easter bunnies that we've created, the Easter bundles. And today we are going to be able to showcase the promotional materials that we've created for them. Rick, can you promote the other half of me as well so that I can share only the photos of the promotions? Thank you. Just 1 second.